Thank you.
And question number 2. And if number 3 would raise her hand.
You let her hold the mic. Can I hold it, please? All right. Okay, well.
Why you discriminate us? Why you discriminate us? Yeah, you're supposed to give microphone like you everybody. No, why you doing this?
All right, well.
Okay, we're ready for the question.
Sorry, it's just rude that he would hand the mic to someone else. Anyways, my point of being here tonight wasn't, you said that we have money going to other resources. We're cutting money to other services because we're still in a budget shortfall, but yet your salary just went up to $171,000. That's $11,000 over the governor. You need to fix that and reduce it back to 2000 levels so we have more money for our community. But that's not my point of being here. My point is this meeting here is just a propaganda to get you reelected. You have a bunch of city folks here that clap when you come through, making look at grand entrance, what a great mayor we have. If you really believe that this is needed for the community, you would make it a law, a rule, and make sure that every elected official is required to have a Q&A at least once a quarter, 4 times a year, so that people can ask a question, you can answer it back. You made the arena happen, you work with the council for that. Why don't you make it a rule that every elected official is answerable to the people at least once a quarter?
You know, okay, so several things in there, and I'll touch on the community meetings. I hold these frequently, probably about once a week. I do a Q&A with members of the public. I'm trying to hold it as close as I can. About once a week, I do a Q&A with members of the public. We bring our departmental folks here because I want you to be directly, I want to let you know that we want to be directly responsive to you. And oftentimes they know more about a particular issue, and you can build a relationship with them. You know, if your concern is Seattle Public Utilities or the streets or public safety, we want to have individuals here, or how we run our parks. I see Eric Friedley here from Parks. We want to be able, you to have a direct relationship, and I'm trying to model what I would like our entire city government to do, which is to communicate with, treat every question with dignity and respect, and be responsive, because I know who my bosses are. Yeah, thank you. So as to whether or not other elected officials do that and how they do that, I really am going to defer to them. There's a lot of things we have to work on, and working to pass a law to ask elected officials to be responsive, they should do that. They should be responsive. If they aren't responsive, the voters have a remedy at the ballot box when they come around. I think we can move on.
The third question is from a representative of Brainworks. Is that 3? Oh, you're 4. Okay. Number 3, go ahead. And number 4 is next.
Give me microphone. It's my microphone. Give me microphone. We will give to everybody, we don't give to us. It's discrimination. Hi, my name is Alex Zimmerman, and we StandUP-America. StandUP-America always stand for ordinary people. We have a dozen elected officials, a dozen judges, a dozen elected officials. What is never speak to people for years. And judges, for example, who we elect, supposed to be protect Constitution. As these judges ignore Constitution, never talk to people. And when you ignore Constitution, it's a crime. As these judges criminals. And you know this. And you're doing this twice per month. If we demand what is you support this. And everybody can do this. Because when you're doing this only for your particular election, propaganda is one way, but when you know this is a criminal and you know change this, so this mean you know this, where this crime come from and not report this crime, you are criminal too. So we want what is you with power and StandUP-America and every citizen and city who can talk about this, because we want to establish a very simple rule, what is respect every United States citizen who live in Seattle. So every elected official who have office in Seattle supposed to be speak to everybody, Q&A, town hall, minimum 4 times per year, every quarter. It's exactly what this Constitution talk about this. Respect people, enforce the people. It's exactly what we want. So please, doing this. Now.
Okay. So same question as the last one. Yeah, same question as the last one, which I answered. I will say when I was active in Greenwood as a community leader, I made it a point to get elected officials to my neighborhood to walk around with me to see how things were, because that was the way I hoped they would become more responsive. And in fact, when Richard Dijksterhuis did a walking tour up here on Bitter Lake one day on a Saturday to show Linden off to elected officials, I made it a point to bike up from Greenwood to show that it wasn't just Bitter Lake that thought this should be fixed, but that community leaders over in other neighborhoods should be there too. So I think it's a good idea not just for me to show up, but for you to call us out here and hold us accountable. So with that, next question.
Question number 4.